Hi, this is Barry Rosenfeld from theartographer.net with another tutorial, this time for users of Lightroom. In this case, I'll be looking at Lightroom 5, and I'm aiming mainly for people who either are new to Lightroom and are not comfortable with all of the very detailed and specific adjustments that are achievable by using the panel on the right and accessing all of the individual sliders. As well as those who are more experienced in using Lightroom and have used presets to apply to their development of their images, or have not yet used presets and want to try to see what kind of advantage they could give you. The point of this basically is to show how you can gain more control over the use of a preset than you may be aware of through the use of an external Lightroom plugin called the Fader. I'll explain at the end of this tutorial how to get the plugin, and I will leave a comment on the page for the video that gives the link to download the Fader plugin if you would like to get it. To illustrate how this is used, I have an image here that's basically a raw image that has no adjustments made to it at all. So first, talking about the group who really is unfamiliar with how to use the individual adjustments that are available in the development panels and want to rely more on a preset to get to close to a final result. I'm going to demonstrate the difference between the typical use of a preset and what the advantages are of using the Fader plugin. For this example, I'm going to have selected on the left side under the preset panel in the develop module, using Trey's presets package number 3, fun favorites. I picked an example that's going to apply a very dramatic impact on the image so you can see the effect of the slider. Traditionally, to apply a preset, you simply go down, select one, and click on the preset, and that would be applied to your image. Now you can see this is way oversaturated and processed, and in most cases would be unacceptable to everyone. So there are a couple of things to do here. You can go through and find a different preset that more suits your vision for the image. It could represent a starting point for you for those more experienced, and you could then go over into the development panels, and you can see that the preset has already made numerous adjustments, and in fact has made them in almost all of the development panels. And if you're comfortable with it, you can go in and then begin seeing what kind of further adjustments you want to make to that, but you're still working with the main result of that preset. So it's really a global application of the preset with your ability to go in, if you're experienced or interested, to tweak some of the adjustments that the preset applied. Well, how is the Fader plugin, not new, but maybe new for you, the Fader plugin change all this? Let me go first and reset this. So we're back to the raw image again with nothing being applied to the image. In this case, instead of going into the panel on the left to choose the preset, I'm going to go up to the main menu under File, come down to Plug-in Extras, and then click on the Fader. This opens up a dialog box which gives you a number of different things. First of all, under the folder section, if you open it up, you see all of the presets that are available had you gone directly into the preset section of the left-hand panels. They're all here, so I'll again go in and pick Trey's preset package 3. And then once you're in that package, you can open up the next menu box and see all of the presets that are available in that particular folder. So I'll again go down to Amazing Raisins, the same preset I selected previously, and apply that. And again, you can see it applies the global in full preset. The first thing it shows you here are all the development panels that have been impacted by this preset. So anything with a check mark has some kind of an adjustment in there done by the preset. The big new thing is that you now have an opacity slider. It comes up with a default of 100%, but this gives you control over how much of the total preset you want to apply to the image. So if I were to lower the opacity of this particular preset, you can see in the image itself it is now backed off to roughly 60% of the preset. You can go down and only apply very small amounts. Here's 30% of the preset, up to 150% of the preset and get an even more dramatic effect, or down to minus 50, and take away all of the adjustments in the image. So that's the first use of the preset. It actually can be used, as I said, by experienced users to develop a starting point for a preset and make further adjustments, either by selecting the opacity adjustment or by going into the panels to make further tweaks to the preset, or for the more inexperienced Lightroom users, by actually using the fader to and the opacity slider to achieve the results that they want. So one additional use that I wanted to point out, and that is, let's say that I have already gone through and I have arrived at this particular image by manually going in and making these adjustments. In fact, let me illustrate that better. I'll reset all of this. Suppose I had gone in, and I'm going to go rather quickly here, since the purpose of this tutorial is not really to educate inexperienced users on how Lightroom itself is used, but I want to show you what happens here. If I go in and simply darken the highlights, lighten the shadows, set a new white point and black point, lower my exposure, add a little clarity, some vibrance, and adjust the tone curve. So now I'm a more experienced user. I've gone through and made all these adjustments, and I've saved it out. Come back in a day or so and I look at it and I say, you know, I like what I've done in terms of the total balance here, but I'm not sure that I didn't apply it too heavily. Well, here's where the fader comes in again, by opening up again the plugin of the fader, and instead of the set preset, if I go up and select Lightroom General Presets, and then within that select zeroed, it will remove all of the adjustments on the image at 100% level. However, if I move it back down to 0, I now have my full adjustments, and by increasing the zero adjustment, the zero preset, I can gradually put back in the results of my previous developed module adjustments and say okay to that. So whether you start with the preset, you can use the fader to blend it in with opacity, or you've already made your own adjustments to an image, you can use the fader to back off those adjustments globally. So hopefully this has been informative for you. I find it extremely helpful and a powerful tool of taking more control over Lightroom presets. Again, the plugin is the fader, and I will list in the comments section the link if you'd like to get the download of the trial version. There's also a registered version, I believe, for an additional $10, well worth the $10 for getting unlimited use of the fader. Again, this is Barry Rosenfeld from theartographer.net. Thanks for watching.